taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
Yeah, what's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. Yo, I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative. And as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What it do? You know what it is Jesus Bars and Boxing Shuttle Ref the God. We back. Go, aka the GOAT artist, aka LB Lauderdale Boss. You know what it is. Monday Night Boxing. Finna set it off. RingGameRadio.com. In the building, as always, your favorite boxing podcast, the face of boxing podcasts, and podcasters in general, and just live stream spaces. Yes, we the motherfucking best. But yeah, you're rocking with us. So enjoy tonight's show.
Yeah, absolutely, yo. You know, Ring Gang forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Box in the building. Ring Game Radio all day. Let's go. Why you keep switching the damn fucking format? You got your thing bigger than all of ours. Pause. Right.
Hey, bro, I'm just going through, just seeing, you know, I'm just seeing what the...
I mean, that was cool. You could keep it that way or whatever. You could switch up every 20 minutes or whatever. So
yeah, I don't care. It was just throwing me off because I'm like trying doing my intro.
Wait, that's I
was trying to make myself the biggest in here and pause, yo. You know what I mean?
I ain't got nobody to throw out today, so in front of the bodega, so whatever. Well, I'll say that.
Get banned on a Monday, nigga.
You can't ban everybody.
How the Sunday has to be banned Monday. Like, what'd you do?
I mean, hey, you know, if there's no one that needs to be banned, you know, I guess that's a good thing, you know. But, you know, I think that more bannings are coming in the near future, though. I can just feel that in my bones. But, yo, I got my other man with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's fly? Conscious pilot, the West Coast Avenger, #1 contender, preparing for liftoff. Ring and Radio. Let's fly. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Conscious pilot stays elevated above the clouds, you dig? And last but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Yo. What's poppin'? Rome top 5, retired, dead or alive, nigga. We here, nigga. Ring Game.
Yes, sir. You know, Rome top 5, aka Chicago win, because he leaves these niggas in the breeze. You dig? But yeah, man. You know, we had some boxing last weekend. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, there was there's definitely a lot to take up from this card that Top Rank put out. Starting, of course, from the main event with Sergey Derevyanchenko and Christian Mbili. Man, now if there's any this, because you know, if you've heard us talk about Derevyanchenko, you've pretty much heard us say that Derevyanchenko probably after these hard fights he keeps getting put into, he needs like a soft touch. You need to build him back up. You need to give him some easy competition that he can whoop. Like, you know, and he's not going to be looking like a raccoon or something like that at the end of the fight. He's not, you know, cuts and shit, all that shit, like all the shit that he usually looks like after a fight. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that I don't think setups or anything like that are going to help him anymore. I think Sergey Derevyanchenko is washed. He's toast now. And it's sad to do because he's toast within only 20-21 fights. But I'll be damned though that dude though has heart, because there's no way that Mbili should have had him like still standing at the end of 10 rounds.
Bro, you know what? I'm just gonna come out and say Mbili's performance was trash. He had a washed up one arm fighter in there and couldn't do anything to fucking get him out of there. Cuffed most of his shots. He even got hurt. He got hurt by the fucking one-arm fighter in the fucking, what was it, the 6th round?
I think it was the 6th or 7th round, yeah.
He got hurt.
The one arm that he did have, he threw a straight right and clipped him, and then Mbili was hurt. How you fucking get hurt by a one-arm fighter?
I mean, we knew he was hittable, but, like, he's very hittable. It's like, god damn, he's hittable.
No, he's incredibly hittable though. But in front of these two, Derevyanchenko, even if he has like a poor performance, he always has that one moment in the fight where he actually hurts cats. Like, I mean, he hurt Munguia multiple times. He hurt Triple G. He hurt Charlo. He hurt Jacobs. You know,
It usually be with body shots too, but he was actually landing several lead rights on Mbili. Like shit was Like I honestly like, cause me and Rome Top 5 had a 2-leg parlay for a Guido KO and a Derevyanchenko KO, and that motherfucker almost happened.
I mean, we'll talk more about the Guido KO live because I'm mad because my parlay was lost with that one. But
oh damn!
Tried to tell you, I was playing.
Yeah, no, the Derevyanchenko like because I mean the Derevyanchenko KO was what was it 1800? Yeah, no, it was 1800. You know, so I was just like, you know, I mean, even though at that point my parlay was busted, I was like, if Derevyanchenko ends up stopping this dude, I swear, you know, I'm gonna lose my shit. You know, talking about Makhmudov though, but
nah, we would have just caught the sofa you would have threw in our direction, nigga. That's all.
Yeah, I would have let out the longest, loudest profanity if that was the only prop that didn't hit because you know motherfuckers want to be stupid in the ring. But you know, but Derevyanchenko though, that man has heart though, because I mean the top rate cameras caught where he actually ripped his bicep with a jab, no less. So and that shit was crazy too, because that bicep just rolled up in his arm ASAP. You know, and yeah, and Mbili should have been able to. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that Mbili didn't land. And Mbili landed like 190 something power punches on him, which is like the most that anyone's landed on him in a fight. So it's not like he didn't beat him up, but this was one of those fights where it was warned that you have to make the ref or Rozier stop the fight. You know. And Mbili never got to that type of point. Although he came close in some cases, he never got to the point where it's like, "Yo, you need to stop this fight."
Bro, Derevyanchenko's corner was looking for a reason to stop the fight at one point.
Because these dudes can't throw a simple 10-punch combination. They can't have offense for longer than 20 seconds at a time. Because if they did that, then we would get stoppages in these type of fights. All we want is the traditional Layla Ali, Oscar De La Hoya type stoppage where you just run a damn burnout combo on a nigga face and the ref steps in. Like,
yeah, and
that's all you have to do. No one's asking you to throw haymakers or do some secret art technique or some shit, bro. Just let your hands go, nigga. No one's asking for a goddamn ultra combo finish. Just let your hands go.
Right, and he wouldn't do that because every single time he was loading up, Derevyanchenko also would use his legs just to get off ropes or make the fight go back to the center of the ring where Mbili wasn't as effective.
And you could brace for niggas loading up, and you could see it.
Yeah, you know, but yeah, and Mbili though, and I get it. No, I mean it was cool. Like Derevyanchenko again, like he goes the distance, like he's taking tough, powerful guys, punchers, the distance, whatever. But but I think the wells run dry for him. Like he honestly needs to retire. I mean, he's 38. He has a lot of collateral damage. He's not shaking it off, and you continue like that. Some jobber's gonna put his foot in his ass. It's either that, or they're gonna be like, "Hey, Morel," or "Hey, Iglesias." You know, they need a name opponent. Put them in the ring with that, and it's only gonna get worse. You know, and like I said, tough guy. Derevyanchenko's a tough guy, tough, skilled guy. You know, I mean, you know, in a different world, maybe, you know, with better career management, you know, dude may have picked up a belt or who have been more preserved, you know, to continue his career. But I think now at this point, it's like Russian roulette right now because he's old, he's getting worn out. He's worn out as a fighter. Like,
should Rozier be held accountable for keeping him in there the whole? You know, because the commentary made it seem like, oh, she should have just pulled him out of there. You know what I'm saying? So do y'all give Rozier any smoke for that, or you know?
I mean, he deserves some smoke for it. Yeah, but like LB said, they were looking for a reason to stop the fight. So that was and. You know, they weren't given enough reason because every single time Mbili was trying to do something, Derevyanchenko at least would move out of the way. You know, get out of.
Yeah, Derevyanchenko was still competitive and competent, so it's like he's losing, but it's like, damn, do I really want to like stop the fight? Because remember, if he would just stop the fight on some random shit, motherfuckers would be upset about that too.
Right.
So it's like you can't win. So motherfuckers just gotta learn to damn really stop dudes. And then remember, Derevyanchenko's in there. He know if he's had enough, he could go to a knee. He could quit.
Yeah, but that's not just. It's just not in his nature. Like like I said,
it's not, or a motherfucker ain't whoop your ass enough.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He wasn't getting whooped enough. He was still confident about shit, like because he knows how to survive. Like he got instinct, and skill.
Yeah, it's even more surprising that Mbili was not able to drop him once in the fight. Like how you have all this power and you can't figure a way to drop a one-arm, battle scar guy once in a fight. Like Derevyanchenko's going down 3 times, like in his career. Like there should have been a 4 and a 5 and then a stoppage. Like seriously,
is it a 4 or 5?
I'm saying though, like
I feel you.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, because I was watching, I'm like, okay, Derevyanchenko, he should retire. And Mbili, like I'm not sure where he is. I mean, the Gongora fight was the first fight. I had questions about Mbili in terms of because that one he got tired. Like, like dude had to kind of like rally and everything like that, and to try and win that fight. But this one is just like, if you're not able to stop a guy like this, and you're still getting hit, and you're getting hurt by a one-armed guy, just like the way it is. Again, I just have serious doubts that you won't get caught unexpectedly before you even win like a title or anything.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be like a tough showcase fight, but still a showcase fight. Because you got some showcase fights where you're supposed to look spectacular, but then there's some showcase fights where it's like, hey, you might have to show a little extra oomph, a little extra something. But if you do so, you might could do something no one else has done. Right. Stop this guy, drop him a bunch of times. So Derevyanchenko, even at this stage, ain't the easiest opponent.
No, he's not.
But if you're supposed to be that dude, if you're supposed to be next in line, if you're supposed to be that nigga, to put it, in regular terms, you're supposed to really look better against this type of guy.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, So that pretty much it. That was like just my takeaway on that fight. Like whatever. Like Mbili, like I know they're gonna keep his because I know they're trying to bank on the Canelo fight. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo's actually inclined to actually take it because it's like, okay, this dude is not that much of a threat. Maybe I might be able to kind of roll the dice on that one because I can't because Canelo.
Yeah, man, that's right up his alley. His old whole ass. Yeah,
Canelo because Canelo's not looking for any competitive 168 fights. Like he's like, okay, let's okay, who's gonna be whose defense is face first now? That's gonna allow me to rattle off some combinations. And Mbili, that's there. Yeah, no, Derevyanchenko was tagging them up. So
yeah. Hold on, let me see what's good with the chat. Salute JP, what it do? He got injured in this fight too. Like, yeah, that's what make it worse. It's up there with the damn Eddie Chambers and Atomic fight.
Oh yeah, that fight. Oof, that fight pissed me off.
Yeah, that fight. Oof, jeez. Yeah, Sergio's heart is like, his heart is next level because that shit looked painful, and he was still, boxing and making moves. Just reminds me of how good prime Jamal Charlo was. Yeah, I know that's like Jamal Charlo, man. That's just a big mystery with his career. For as good as he was, it just never seemed like he wanted more. Like,
yeah, he wasted his prime. I mean, his prime years of age was wasted away. It's kind of, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, like it's kind of unfortunate, and I don't even think he's like so off where he couldn't come back. He didn't look bad against Benavidez's brother.
I mean, he is like he's in the gym posting like Instagram like he's back at it, but it's like
Yeah, but it's like you don't need to be back at it if you 80% back at it. Like wait till you 100, bro. Or boxing is not like rap or other shit where you could do it at a certain level and
you don't play boxing, man.
You don't play boxing. You'll get fucked up in these streets.
Right.
Especially maybe more so in the past previous eras. This boxing era, I don't know, but I wouldn't take my chance. We don't play. I felt Mbili's jab wasn't great. Yeah, that shit was struggle. Like, the type of fighter he is, that jab need to be way better.
That shit was non-existent, pretty much. Like you should, like if he had a jab, he would have gotten some combinations. He would have got kind of Derevyanchenko out of there if he actually utilized the jab to kind of set up a right hand, set up something, other than just trying to club at dude.
Yeah, because if he was jabbing, Derevyanchenko wouldn't be able to get off lead rights.
Yeah, right.
The only way somebody really getting off lead right hands on you, and they're not Roy fucking Jones, where they got bad speed, and it's just like, oh shit, like, where's it coming from next? Mm-hmm. Is if you're not jabbing, mm-hmm. You're literally just allowing them to move and just set themselves up and shit. Like, nah, you got to disrupt that. Somebody shouldn't be damn consecutive, and he can't jab, and you're just gonna let him like get the fuck out of here. Like, so nah, and Billy, like, put him in there for the ginger sweepstakes and see what happens. Derevyanchenko was a good name for him, but yeah, they definitely put him in there. He needs some other fights, he needs some more kind of seasoning.
I mean, I know Munguia, Bazinian, the other Canada guy, they're fighting. If Munguia fights Mbili next, I'm confident Munguia would probably stop Mbili, right?
Yeah.
It'd be a fun fight, but I feel like Munguia would.
I agree. I would favor Munguia over Mbili.
Yeah. There's the work rate and the just being steady.
And the fact that Munguia can throw combinations.
It'd be a fun fight while it lasts, but I think
if it were to be a firefight on the inside, like Munguia is going to beat him to the punch every time.
Yep. Yeah. Several times.
Several times, yeah.
Because I think also I don't know if you want to call him mid Billy or not, if he's mid or not, but
mid Billy. Yeah.
Well, he had a bad performance. I mean, for him, it's a bad performance, but it's just you expected more from someone who's been put through the ringer. Like you expected. Someone to put a real foot in his ass, because like Derevyanchenko, look, I mean, he's toast now. Like I said, like you can't even build him back up. He's either gonna retire. He's gonna become a name opponent. Like he has a journeyman record now, and the record doesn't even. And for most people, they'll be like, oh, the record. Oh, damn.
You got 6 losses now or 5?
Huh?
You got 6 losses or 5 losses?
6. Yeah, 6. Yeah, he's 15-6. That's a
damn. Like you couldn't even get 20 wins, bro. That's prospect numbers. Like damn.
That's a straight up WWE superstars jobber type level, and he's not. He doesn't. His abilities is definitely not a level, but unfortunately, he got matched too tough. His matchmaker gave him that record. So it's just like you can't really rebuild him now, because it's like you can't because he has too much damage on him.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta that's where it comes into management, and and you can't always leave everything up to management. You have the final say. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you gotta kind of move better, because at the end of the day, the boxer's the one in the ring fighting the fights and taking the punishment. They kept throwing him in the hard fight after hard fight. I don't even think Austin Trout was getting it that bad.
Yeah, I always said before, after the Triple G fight, Triple G lowered his comp just slightly, so to recover. He got thrown into a fight with Jamal Charlo, and it was just another hard fight. You know what I mean? So it was just I always felt, and of course that's what everyone likes to say. Oh yes, Jamal Charlo beat Derevyanchenko the clearest. Yeah, no shit, because he got hit. He got helped by a guy that was still battle scarred badly.
So, he had the whole world and beat up on the man, and then he still couldn't drop him, and he got hurt by him. So it's having the clearest 116, 112 score fight over this man ain't the biggest accomplishment,
right? You know what I'm saying?
But still good. Android said he got paid, though. Apparently, he has made over $10 million in his career.
Yeah. That's for
sure.
Sure.
Big man Dan's pod.
He's made a lot of bread. There's no question about it. But
that's the trade-off. Like if you're somebody who's like, yo, I just want this bread and I'm gonna use my talents and skills in boxing to get there, you don't really care about getting a world title or certain things, then get what you asked for. Get what you came in the game for. Like, and speaking of that shit, I remember seeing that tweet with Virgil Ortiz Sr. and he had the CompuBox stats, and I think it was Tom Gray or Boacek's manager or representative. Like, he was like, yeah, y'all still crying because it showed like his son still outlanded Boacek in most of the rounds. Mm-hmm. And how everybody's talking about, the fight deserves a rematch, and dude was like, man, like they had a choice, either get more money or the rematch, and they went for more money. And he said they had so many different demands. You would think we was fighting Canelo or somebody. Like, so it's like, damn, like y'all making all these demands and shit, and like, it's like, yo, y'all ain't even get the rematch clause. Like, so it's like you gotta trade off. And me personally, that was a good fight, but I don't think it needs an immediate rematch. Virgil Ortiz won clearly. It was just a real competitive, good fight. Like, yeah. But even those have winners, nigga. Like. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you gotta have a man. If you think you can beat the guy, you want more money, go ahead and beat the guy. But if you know the matchup is like I know I could beat the guy, but this guy's good, and I don't know, this might be one of those give or take fights. Fuck that. Let me get that rematch clause. Like you gotta know what you want, man. So I look at it like that too. So as long as Derevyanchenko happy and it's all good. But yeah, and Mbili definitely gotta do better than this if we supposed to take him serious. Y'all think he beats Shishkin?
At this point, I honestly I would lean towards Shishkin, not by much, but because Shishkin doesn't have his firepower, but I would lean on Shishkin maybe on some 55-45 type of shit, like now. Right. Or 60-40, somewhere around there.
And Billy's stocky, but I remember checking his height. They say he's 5'8", 5'9"ish. For 168, he's a real stocky guy, but it's like he's kind of, I don't know if he's short for the weight or his reach is a little bit like lesser, but I don't know, something's not there with him. I don't know, but he's
whereas Shishkin
cardio something.
He's not
Well, where Shishkin is at little while, he's like 6'1", 6'2". It's like he's a big guy at that weight. But he doesn't have Mbili's power like that. He's a decent puncher, but he's not a big puncher.
As long as he can hang in there and land, he can have a chance, especially when you're a big dude.
Yeah, but another big dude, however, that fucking failed is Makhmudov. That I'm sorry, though. Yeah,
A1 segue.
Yeah, no, he fucking disgraced all big dudes. How you that fucking big? And just lumbering around like a big fucking.
Because he's not that fucking good. The Caballero fight kind of should have showed that he's not that fucking good.
I mean, I guess he didn't learn because dude was literally going face first, like he was lunging in, and the reason why his eye got closed is Villanella was
because he walks into everything and he's so fucking slow.
He's like a poor man's Euro Wilder with not enough heart and chin. He's like, look for the right hand, and there's not much.
Bro was straight lining into every right hand. Like,
he had Vito. But not Vito. Guido
was looking good. I mean, Paul.
Yeah, thank you. That's what. Like, he had Guido looking good. Like
a boxer, boxer.
Yeah, like bro, like Guido was popping the jab, throwing combinations, right hands, hooks. Moving, footwork. I was like, this ain't the same nigga that Johnny Rice knocked.
But I mean, he did look good against Ajagba. I know he lost that fight, but he held his own for that fight. So maybe he's taking more serious.
But it's the best he looked though.
If
he kind of fought like this more often, I think he'd be better. But he's always so linear up and down. Mm-hmm. I could just do basic shit and outwork you. It's like now he fights with a little more pizzazz, like somebody put a little rum in the punch or some shit, or
I don't know if he had training change or what, but he's definitely looks like I'll say different fighter, but improved. Yeah,
it's more cerebral, more fluid with the movement. Like he looks like he looking more Apollo Creedus than he was before. Like he looking like he can move in boxing. Before he wasn't looking like that.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. And Makhmudov, like Kirill said, didn't learn a goddamn thing. Like sloppy play, and then because he was getting pieced up, so he started fighting dirty. Like trying to maul dude on the ropes and rabbit punching and all types of shit. Like dude was fighting like absolutely.
Do you question his heart or? I mean, I know because of the body shots, but I mean, I think he tried in that Guido fight, but do you question like his driving heart? Makhmudov,
I mean, he didn't look like he was in real good shape either. So that's another thing. Like, So he basically whatever it was. I don't know because maybe he's like because they had fought before in the World Series of Boxing and he laid out Vianello in 4 rounds. So I think
that's like years ago. They did. Guido was there moving around like he wanted revenge.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he kind of took because he was like, yeah, I knocked this dude out. He wasn't that good. He probably took him too lightly, and that's why we got like all the lunging and all the wild shit that he was trying to throw at dude. But Vianello, he kept us cool though. Like he just pieced him up.
He was smart. I mean, I will say Vianello was kind of smothering his work a little bit. Like I was a little worried for a sec he's gonna trick the bag because there was a moment a little bit where it's like, come on, man, box a little bit more than because he's getting tagged. Makhmudov still does have that right hand. I know it's.
Yeah, I mean, but Guido got cut over his eye again, so that's another thing. So, like that, I think that dude is always gonna get cut in the fight. So, but I think, and the funny thing is too is though, like the Makhmudov's corner, I don't know what the doctors were waiting for. Like that dude's eye was closed, and they was and dude. And they were.
I'm surprised they didn't stop it the first time when they looked at it. Like,
I guess they weren't in the mood to stop anything that Saturday night.
Hell no, they weren't. Like
they was like, "Fuck that, nigga! Keep hitting him. Fuck that. His whole eye could fall out. Fuck that." Like, all right.
Yeah, I mean that fight went on probably 3 rounds too long, but then it should have. I'm like, yo, it's like
the fight night ref, the fight night video game ref would have stopped it way sooner. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that ref was just like, I mean, as long as y'all don't like, kill each other that bad. Like he was just like
each other that bad. Like y'all can kill each other, but don't go just killing each other.
I'm still iffy on Guido, but I will give him props. He had a good performance.
Same. Like I mean, I'm not total, but this is a step in the right direction because I had a feeling too. Like if Guido had lost this fight, the Top Rank would have just dropped him. That's probably another reason why I'm thinking like that's probably the reason why he fought. Because how this Top Rank be dropping these fights like I
mean, I maybe, but I also just think stylistically wise, Makhmudov made for a good style for him to look like that.
Yeah, I think honestly King P right, but I think all of y'all are right. I think it was all those played in like factor where it was like a factor, like the whole pink slip fight, the whole like Akhmadev just what's his name? Makhmudov,
yeah.
Makhmudov ain't really that good either. And remember, Guido is a big, kind of semi-athletic guy himself.
Yeah.
So at least it's like he was moving like how we all expect Gerald Washington to look.
Who was your favorite? Because this sounds realistic. Maybe Big Baby versus Guido. Who wins that? Because they're both top.
Oh, which Big Baby, bro?
I mean the one that lost. Jared Anderson.
Oh. Okay, Anderson.
They're both top ranked guys. It's
Anderson versus Guido.
Because it seems like a fight.
He's a better fighter than Guido. It's just it's just his heart.
No, Anderson got heart.
It's a fight they would probably they might make just.
I think it's just the ring IQ for Anderson, really, and I think he knows that because when he said like I kept leaning back, like he knows he be fucking up. Like I think it's more so of a habit. Like he got muscle memory. Like as soon as nigga throw a punch, he's like lean back. But yeah, that's actually a good matchup. You know what? I would kind of lean toward Anderson, but I feel like it's a 60-40 type of fight for him. Like Guido's definitely in there, especially after coming off of this performance. That's gonna give him a little more confidence. It's not just a complete walkover fight for Anderson, but I like the fight actually. Like,
Well, here's the thing. How do you rate Guido's like punching power? Like on a scale. Well, how would you rate it?
out of 1 through 10, and we're looking at heavyweights, I look at Guido punching power like a 7.
Yeah, I say 7.
Okay, so I asked that simply because the problem with Jared is always I'm like something I've noticed with Jared. The problem is always going to be that he has to be moving forward to be effective with his style, and he's like with him being like that, not being good at moving and just fighting off the back foot, and he has to go completely forward. He's always going to run the risk of running into something with the guys that he's facing. So it's like if he's facing a puncher, he's always going to have that issue of that guy's going to crack, and can he handle it? And Piccoli, we saw it with Piccoli, but Piccoli is a big puncher. So I just wonder how that would be if Guido punching. Because Guido's going to have
because if we got to look at the power, like Piccoli, I think his power is more like a 8, 9.
Yeah, Piccoli's like a 9 in punching power.
But the way he utilizes his power is like a 9, 10, because he throws a lot. The way he punches, he throws a lot of short combat combination. I think he's more of a better puncher than a harder puncher, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I would say Johnny Rice would be like an 8. Because when he lets combinations go, it's like it's heavyweight damaging combinations. Like I don't know if Guido does the same thing to Coffee if he lets his hands go like that.
I just think his if Jared was more fleet-footed, I don't know. I mean, he's
it's this defense, dude. He can move around. You see, he can move around. It just he doesn't know how to get off by moving around. Like he'll step around you. He can pivot. You don't jab when he does it like that.
But I don't think he's as effective when he's moving around. I mean, he can move around for the sake of moving around.
But he has to practice it. It's like Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson could move around and he could outbox dudes semi-wise doing that. But we all know Lamont Peterson is at his best when he's coming forward, hands up type shit.
Because as we know, because you and I both know, moving around is one thing, but effectively being able to utilize your offense while moving is something completely different. So,
I think he just has to practice it, because you see he'll have little glimpses of it. He'll pivot, he'll turn around, pop the jab. I think he just honestly has to get used to doing that for more than 30 fucking seconds. Right. Like you have to really get accustomed to fighting certain styles and practicing how you approach certain things in order for you to do it in a real fight. Like if you want to be a true master boxer, you have to be effective in more than one style. You might like you said, his default style is come forward. He's like a more athletic Anthony Joshua, but you could tell he could move around, but he can't outbox guys like Anthony Joshua. Like Anthony Joshua could literally have a whole fight on his back foot and pop the jab and fight you like that.
Right.
Anderson can't. He would fall apart after a round of doing it or somewhat. So that's really what he need to work out on. But do it against a guy who could trouble him, but not knock him out on the first mistake.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the problem. He's kind of reaching that level where it's like the point of no return. And if you want him to work on some issues, it might be a little like you can't have him just lower his competition, put the training wheels back on. So
no, you can't put it. You can't put it back on completely. Like that's why the Guido fight is so good, because it's a winnable fight. But it's one of those.
It's like the winnable
fight, and you gotta earn it.
Guido's like the absolute quote unquote worst that I think I'd accept. For Jared Anderson for a comeback fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it ain't. We don't need him to be confident to come back. We don't need him to just be the jobber. He's done enough of that. Like nah, like no. We need to beat some guy who's coming to win, but he might not be he might not be the best at everything, but he got some tools with him. Like he could do something. He could trouble you. He could pull it off. Like So it's more of a ring. You don't know how his training camps are going, how he's looking, but it's the ring IQ thing to me. Like, he has all the tools. He hits hard enough. I think Jared Anderson's power is probably like an 8.
Right.
But it hasn't looked that way in his last couple fights because the way how he's been fighting. That seek and destroy Anderson kind of gone. Like, that's why he need better head movement, because he gets off better pause when he's coming forward. Pause.
No, I get it. I agree. So we'll see. But shout out to Guido. Guido was impressive, and the young boys on this card were impressive. Iglesias and Mason.
Yeah, no. Iglesias is going to be a problem. Like, I can tell that dude is going to be a real problem. And I know Abeko's definitely seen better days, but yeah, it's like, yeah. And I was mad too because I got that bet correctly on there 1 and 2 on my parlay. That and Mason. So I'm like, so like they showed out. Like, but Iglesias is scary because Iglesias is mean. He punches mean.
That's the thing. Like, he's because in comparison to Morrell, like, Iglesias is more aggressive and wild. Like, because I was kind of comparing them because they both took out Agbeko in the second round, but it was just like once Agbeko smelled once Iglesias smelled blood, he was just ready to throw it all out there. Like, just get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he let his hands go. Like, bro was just mean. Like, he was like and I was like, okay. Like, you can't teach mean. Like, dude was try to punch right through that dude. Like, Agbeko and they try to give Agbeko a shot, but when you're getting your head rocked along the ropes, you gotta stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the Iglesias did the damn thing, and so did Mason. Like, Mason, I mean, I think it's safe to say, like, Top Rank should now. I think they need to take Mason off. Like,
why the fuck do they keep? Listen, you already put him on the main card, and he's your most exciting prospect. Why the fuck are you putting him back on the prelims? He should not be on the prelims anymore. Your focus should be getting him to as many audiences as possible.
Yeah.
Put him on.
That's the thing. I'm glad you say that. Like, Top Rank fucks up sometimes with that whole transition. Like, they know how to build prospects as far as like giving you the right fights, but as far as placement on the cards and building a star, they fail at that because of shit like this. Like, it gets to a point, like, you hear all the internet buzz, more people are talking about Mason than anybody else on that card.
Facts.
Like, do they not read the room? Like, yo, get this nigga as the co-main. Like, he should be getting the same level of showcase fights and placement as guys like that, Robeisy Ramirez and Nico Ali.
Super facts.
He's looked more impressive than both.
Yeah, right. Like, we get the rehash, every single time Nico is on an undercard. And like I said, I like Nico. Like, he's a cool guy though, but he gets all this attention, and he's now he's starting to struggle at the prelim level. Whereas Mason is just pretty much
Mason's blowing by everybody that they put him in there with. Pause. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
So do y'all hot shot him, or do
no? You don't need to hot shot him. You don't need to do that. But they're gradually building him up the right way. So it's just a matter of more exposure.
Yeah, that's all it is. They're doing the right thing, and that's what I be saying. Like, no promoter has the right formula because they all have certain strengths and weaknesses. Like, imagine if you put PBC's production and engagement and marketing with Top Rank's matchmaking
and amateur. Like, they have all the the blue chips, right? The prospects.
Yeah, but if you gave you had a Dula Mason's matchmaking, but with PBC's promotion, he'd be a superstar now.
I mean, you say that, Pilot, but low key, they don't have the stronghold on the prospects that they used to. I've kind of low key noticed that.
You're right. Yeah.
Who's getting them? Matchroom, Queensberry?
The Matchroom is starting to get more the young guys. Like, so I've been noticing.
That's one thing Eddie will do. Eddie will sign a young fighter. Like,
another motherfucker we gonna see fighting damn in front of 2,000 people that we don't care.
But it used to like I said, but it used to be more. Like usually the young prospects, 95% of the time they're going to Top Rank. Now it's not that. It's not the case anymore.
They drinking the Eddie Kool-Aid, man. And I feel like some of these niggas, I'm seeing now, like the boxing, the young niggas is different now. Like a lot of them, they just really want to box and just fight. They don't care about being a superstar or making money or really having a legacy. They just want to fight. And Eddie gets you fights, so that's cool. But if it's me putting my life on the line, nigga, I want the bag, I want the publicity, I want all that shit. So getting me fights just ain't fucking enough. You feel me?
And then once in a while, you'll get a guy like a Errol Spence who didn't sign with Top Rank because he wanted to bet on himself because he was like, okay, well, you'll get more upfront, with Top Rank, but then as you get further along in your career, it's like the back end. At the back end, you're not, because we know how Top Rank is. We've said this many times. Top Rank is good with getting you in the door, but there's that cap. So if you
and they just don't. I'm gonna be honest. Top Rank don't know how to really market black fighters like that, and they struggle with the Asian ones they get. That's not Pacquiao.
And it's funny too, considering the fact that Top Rank's existence is because of one black fighter, Muhammad Ali. So it's the weirdest.
That's true, but for some reason they do too many, and we used to speak on this before, but they're stuck in that old mind frame of doing things in the boxing way. So they're not going to take chances like that, but they don't really know how to take advantage of like the urban market, the urban demographic, and the blogs and the momentum, the buzzing. They just don't know how to do that shit.
I mean, I wrote a whole an article on that. Like I wrote a whole parody on this. If you,
I remember that shit.
Like classic. Like literally, like what
they don't know. We gonna have to retweet it, God. We gonna have to share that shit again, fam.
Yeah, because that was pure inspiration. Because that was just because of all the fuckery that was going on with like Nico Ali and shit like that. I was like, yeah, look, it's just how they operate. Like it was inspiration. I wrote all that shit. Like it's just
give us a famous kid, a famous boxer's kid. We could do something. Give us what's the fuck they got? Give us an Irish guy. We could do something.
Yeah, Irish or famous boxer's kid. Yeah, those are the two. It's like laziness.
Give us a clean cut white kid. We could do something. Give us a Mexican. We could do something. But come to that black kid, it's like, fuck. What do we do? Like, he's super fast and powerful. He talks a lot of shit. How we market this guy?
I mean, most of the time it's like, okay, we got a black guy with a title like O'Shaquie Foster. We gotta get his title off and go put it on another.
We gotta rob him so we can make Valdez Navarrete all time. One of their fake Mexican trilogies and shit.
Yeah,
they be leaning in the damn trilogy, like trying to make trilogies and rematches of fights that no one really asked for. Like, just hold on. I see. What up, Anthony? Salute. One guy's like Eddie's father and DM Charging passed away. It seemed like the promoter started caring less about putting the best matchups together and more about the paychecks. I think being an independent promoter for yourself as a boxer when you don't really have experience in that side of the business hurts you because you don't really have the connections in the sport.
I mean, it's politics. It's like damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like
it is, but man, it's like, dude, we're in a new age now where you got marketing firms, you got people. These boxers make enough money. You could literally pay somebody fucking $1,000 a month to run certain shit or make videos for you, and you could literally pay a guy to fucking follow you and film you. Remember, these guys are famous. They've been on on big cards. It's not gonna take these niggas 6 years to monetize a YouTube account.
No, I mean, look.
You know what I mean? So you can't look at it as them like regular people. These are people with platforms who've been on TV, been around other famous people. They can make a profit on social media a lot faster than the normal person.
I mean, Oscar. You would hope that you would think that Oscar De La Hoya would be the norm for these fighters. I mean, Oscar is probably the best example of a fighter who created his own company, and the company was big, even as he was still an active fighter. Like that's the rare, but unfortunately, that's the rare example of a fighter kind of taking the business.
Yeah, but no one's even asking to do all that. Just engage the fans, put yourself out there, and say the right shit and build interest in your opponents and your fights. And you know, it's like niggas give you the examples every year. Every generation has an example. It's not our fault that we can point them out, but other boxers don't notice it and do it.
Right.
The influence of boxing got popular because regular boxers stopped caring about being popular.
Yeah.
Niggas stopped doing interviews and shit.
Right. And then it got to the point where it got too popular, where you have some of the boxers that thinking like, oh damn, like this is like Jared Anderson's like, damn, I need to be doing this shit. Like, you know, this is the lane I need to be going through, rather than going through the traditional boxing lanes.
Yeah. And that's the thing, it's like, and it's kind of sad because you can do both, but always remember the boxing part is more important.
Right.
Don't get caught up in the whole Ebony Bridges shit where you lean on the fuckery shit, the OnlyFans or whatever bullshit so much that you forget what the boxing is, and then your boxing stature falls down.
Right.
Because you not being a world champion, that hurts your brand.
Yeah, facts.
Especially if you lost the fight for a fucking 8-1 underdog. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's shit like that. Like you could do both, and if you can't do both, hire a motherfucker to do it. Get help.
Absolutely. Something I make sure I gotta mention about this card that they announced too. Like during one of the segments, you know, they mentioned that, you know, Luis Alberto Lopez, who got knocked out by Leo last week, he suffered a brain bleed from that knockout. And, you know, it's unfortunate too, because now, you know, with brain bleeds, obviously, if you have a brain bleed, like you shouldn't be fighting again. Like I know that boxers have come back from it, depending on what variations of it. And usually, the examples of fighters come back from it, they usually come back like they get dented even more, and you can tell that they get fucked up even more. Like, you know, like a Jermaine Taylor. Well, like he had two brain bleeds.
Well, like that guy Abeko, who had a minor brain bleed and fought Morel and Iglesias on the co-main back to back. Like, what the fuck is that? Like,
yeah, like there's too many examples, and I get it sucks too because Lopez is in the prime of his career. He's just, he was probably at one point probably the number one featherweight, and he lost how he lost. But the way they were talking about, oh yeah, you have to rest and he'll be back soon. Like, he shouldn't come back.
No, bro. Like a brain bleed is like a detached retina in the 80s.
Right.
It's one of those where you just ain't really gonna come back. And it's sad. I hate to hear shit like that because I know how much some of these guys love boxing. Mm-hmm. And if you had to take that away, you're like really taking like an arm or leg. You're really taking a part of them away. So I really hate to hear that. But, you know, it's also a part of the game, man. And that's why we always be so on these niggas about the defense. Like, Lopez takes a lot of clean punches and he doesn't take nothing off of them. And getting hit with your chin up all the time is like, I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Garcia later out on the line he gets something like that, because niggas who get punched like this, and that shit just don't end well. It's the worst way to be getting caught all the time.
Right. And of course, it didn't help that, you know, obviously, you know, we did make light because when he hit the canvas, his feet went up and shit like that. But unfortunately, when you get the double impact, the way his head slammed into the canvas, that's probably where he picked up the brain bleed. You know?
Yeah, like and that's, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, that double whammy, like you gotta like. That's one thing I learned when I used to do Atemi Ryu Jiu-Jitsu. Like you had to know how to do a break fall. You got to get in a like. It almost had to be autopilot, second nature, where you could break fall, and you fall in a way where you take some steam over the fall, and you don't hit the back of your head.
Yeah.
Like you could get hit. Like some people hit the back of their head when they fall, and they're not unconscious when they fall. So that's even worse. You get knocked out on the ground, and you're not even knocked out. Like so, no, you have to have your head like it's harder to fucking when your head is already like this in the fight, and you fall, your head is landing first.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I'd rather you get the whiplash and you fall. And your body hits the ground first, and then your head hit.
Right.
Because you want something to take off the impact, but if your head hit the concrete first, then your body, nigga.
Yeah, because the ring, like,
he's Howard it on a fucking sidewalk off a regular fight.
Yeah, like I mean, the canvas, like, and the canvas, I mean, it has some give, but not a whole lot of give. So the head.
Nah, this ain't no wrestling canvas, bro. I've been on the boxing canvas. Them shits is hard.
Yeah, they're fucking hard. Like, and yeah, that and hitting your head on the ropes too. Ropes, you can give yourself again whiplash. Like, you can die from your head hitting the ropes and the canvas.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame too, because like I said, I know, but the way they were talking about is like Lopez should not come back. Like a brain bleed is nothing that. Now, like there are cats who suffered a brain bleed and they stop fighting and they still, they still get full powers of their body. And then, but you gamble every single time you have a brain bleed and you want to fight, because there's some commissions that will allow people with brain bleeds to fight, and you see them they get fucked up or they get crippled or they die. Like there's examples.
And then you can't even really spar like that either.
Yeah, no, like
how you really gonna prepare for fights?
Yeah, there was a British boxer, Nick Blackwell. Chris Eubank Jr. beat him, like gave him a brain bleed, and knocked him out. And they managed to do. They got the life-saving surgery, like, and he was good. Like he regained full powers and everything like that. He retired, but then he did a sparring session, and then after that sparring session, he fell into a coma, and then he's not so good. Like he hasn't regained his full powers yet. Like everything is slow. His talking is everything because he fucked up inside. He wanted to spar. Never mind the profile spar after he got a brain bleed. Like you can't like play with your brain like that, like
And then these niggas probably did some hard ass sparring too.
Well, he was a super middleweight and he was sparring a cruiserweight. So,
motherfuck! I didn't know he was. I don't remember that incident. He sparred like, bro. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
that's why I know people who love, like, when you love boxing, you love boxing, but
right. And it was.
I ain't sparring a fucking cruiserweight with a fucking brain bleed, like nigga. Like
yeah, and then of course it's worse too, because I mean Top Rank already had a prospect with Alex Saucedo, like he got the brain bleed.
Yes.
And then once and then they brought him back on TV, and dude was crying on TV because the dirty cameras wouldn't keep the cameras off him. Had this dude crying because he had to retire from boxing. I think
why they interview him and then like put him on the camera for about a minute after, like what the fuck was that? That was wild. That was the beginning of the time where Pat put out dirty cameras, and I realized, goddamn, they always do this shit. That's crazy.
They always do this shit, and they did it with this fight too. Like Derevyanchenko, they showed him, he's crying in there.
Lopez, crying. They were showing the wife for like a good 30 seconds too. What the fuck was that? That's crazy.
They do that. They'll show the crying kid, the daughter, the son. It don't matter. Like they'll get you.
Yeah, no, but yeah, the Lopez. I hope that hopefully he recovers. But yeah, honestly, he shouldn't play with his brain, because one brain bleed, you're dented. Like brain bleeds, now doing normal, you're good. But if you're getting hit in the head, especially if you have no defense, the shit's gonna end up bad for you. Like
you're not mad. Your defense isn't gonna magically get better as you retire. Once you retire and you still want to spar, and then you choosing to spar bigger guys, like. God damn, like
yeah,
I know the urge is there. Trust me, I be wanting to spar every day, but
yeah, even Joe Macy had 3 brain bleeds after the Gerard fight, and he's still and then he wanted to fight, and I think he was fighting in Canada and shit like that until he realized that shit he wasn't gonna get licensed in any place that was substantial for him to retire, and luckily he retired before he got damaged. But you can't you get a brain bleed, you're rolling the dice about you get hit in the head. Like that's what boxing is. It's blunt force trauma. Like, and the brain can only take so much. You don't want your brain bleeding all over the place, like in your head. So it sucked to hear that he got a brain bleed and stuff like that. But yeah, I just hope that the foolishness is like, oh, he's gonna come back. Like, nah, he shouldn't come back. Like, you gotta wrap it up. You gotta wrap the career. The career is
it's the wrap. Like, just take solace in the fact that you went out in a good ass fight of the year, knockout of the year. You were a champion. You had defended your belt. You had a nice, had
exciting fights. Had good wins.
Fights, good wins. Yeah, like that's just the end of the career. It's sad. I hate it, but But this is why we always say, like, you gotta treat your rap career. I'm sorry. You gotta treat your boxing career like it's a rap career. Like, you only got a certain window before your buzz go down, or certain fights ain't materialized, or this or that. So you got a
short window of opportunity, and you got to take advantage of it while it's there.
You got to. You can't be turning down interviews and podcasts because you think they beneath you, and you're not as popular as you think you know, bro. Like, all that shit helps. All that shit counts. It's boxing, bro. Like, because you don't know, one day that could be all gone, and then you're gonna wish you made certain connections within the sport and outside of the sport to kind of go on with your career. You don't want to be the guy who all you did is boxing, but your boxing never crossed the mainstream, so only your neighborhood knows about it, type shit. Or the era of boxing fans that saw you, right? And you'll stay right there in that era. It's like, nah.
And let's see, Anthony Manzano. I just read his latest comment. As a boxing fan, for me, I'm kind of shocked that I haven't heard something happen to a boxer like you saw with Junior Seau from the Chargers when he found him in his house after he killed himself. Yeah, I will say this though. Football. Their trauma. I want to say, it's roughly the same, but you're dealing with football players that are probably getting hit far more. Like,
no, it's not. First of all, it's not the same. It's week in, it's week out. It's every play. Every play is a car crash. It's not the same. It's way worse.
Every fucking punch is like a mini crash.
No, it's not a car crash. Because look,
bro,
football. Every play, niggas are running full speed into each other for fucking an hour,
bro. And fucking motherfuckers getting like, the body is not meant to be punched like that. Like, punches like the fact that we've actually can withstand those blows, like for like minutes and minutes and minutes of just punching someone. The body's not meant for that to happen.
But look, what's worse, running into somebody full speed or taking a punch for somebody?
It's not just punches.
I don't know, nigga. Bro. You gotta hold on. First of all, we gotta get some type of parameters when y'all do this. Are we having somebody who's 6 feet, 212 pounds?
No, listen. Say you're a running back, right? 185, 6 feet, or 195, 6 feet, whatever. And you're getting smacked. First of all, your coach doesn't let you run outside because you're not one of them running backs. So you just going straight up the gun. 1 and 2 hole. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. You getting hit by niggas that are 250, 300. Smack. Double your size. Smack. Straight into the head, straight into the ground. You run into a nigga, you get hit by the nigga, then you get hit by the ground. Then you get trampled by 35 people. You get on the bottom of a pile. Football is way worse when it comes to physical contact like that, nigga.
Yeah, and keep in mind, they only banned niggas body slamming and suplexing niggas on the field not that long ago.
Remember, when I was in high school, crack black blocks was a thing. Like, I used to do them shits all the time. I was fun.
Yeah,
I couldn't wait for kickoff so I can crack back somebody. That was my shit.
That was the best part of watching football. See niggas get slammed and all types of Farouk Dominator, rock bottom type
until
shit.
Until them niggas started dying in their sleep. And then they're like,
it's like that. Wait, hold on.
The football players.
See, that's the thing. Like, see, y'all had to calm down with the boxing. You can't really calm down nothing in boxing. Like, I don't know. I guess to me personally, I feel it's just too many variables. Because if you're a heavyweight and you're fucking getting hit by niggas and you in a gym with heavyweights and you're getting cracked with 250 pounds of niggas hitting you all the time, that's just as bad as a motherfucker damn tackling your ass.
But I will say it still because I mean I was saying.
Remember, at least football you got pads and shit. Like boxing, you got that headgear that don't even do much sometimes. Nothing's protecting your body when niggas is damn throwing shots to your body either.
Yeah, a slip and a parry does, nigga.
But the funny thing is
football, you have to get tackled. It's not like you can score a touchdown every play. You have to get knocked at some point. Boxing, if you're good enough, you won't get hit. Look, ask Floyd. That nigga's perfectly fine.
Nah, Floyd get fucking hit, bro. Boxing, look, this is in boxing. You will get hit.
Yeah, but it depends.
Floyd is probably the only boxer with no brain damage, nigga.
No. Floyd has been fighting since he was a kid. Like, that's the thing. Like,
so y'all don't look at the training. Just how in football training, how you could get cracked and hurt in football training. Same thing happens with boxing.
Yeah,
like that's why some niggas don't want to even be in the gym all year because they train so hard in those 6 to 8 weeks when they have a fight. It takes so much on them that as soon as that fight's over, it's like, fuck it, let me get in the club, let me get drinks, let me smoke this, let me shoot this, let me do this.
Yeah, no, there are better examples of someone who other than Floyd, of someone who doesn't have damage and who had more like a George Foreman. George Foreman had a punishing career, but he's still lucid in his old age. That's
inarticulate as fuck. And see, Floyd never been the most articulate nigga either. That's a bad.
Like even Wilder, his last 5 fights were like the ones where he got beat the most.
Yeah. Well, let's say in boxing,
no management on that, nigga.
Well, in boxing, it only takes really one fight. With Floyd, though, like if you hear him talking about, Floyd does have like stutters and tics, like he's not like. If you fight professionally 10 years, you have some degree of brain damage. I know this because, like I say, I've been around some of these cats. They do have some, like it could be minor. They could talk to you and like that, but in private, it might be a little bit different. It's like they do have some sort of damage. But Floyd, I mean, obviously Floyd's philosophy is like to hit and not get hit. So he may have less damage, but to say that he's like damage free, he's not. He's absolutely not.
Because there's some niggas who got hit way more than Floyd who show less signs.
I mean, look. Like Floyd was taught, was trained in boxing by his father and Roger Mayweather. Roger Mayweather, before he died, was in a fog, and now Floyd Senior has dementia. Like,
you can't even understand what Floyd Senior says. I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but goddamn, you can't. Yeah. He's on that James Toney, Tommy Hearns fucking language. No offense, Chuck.
Yeah, so
we know it's the truth. It's the cold hard truth. Like, I mean, I idolize these guys like James Toney. Like, they the dudes. Like, so, but yeah, it's sad. That's why we always try to, we always try to like preach defense and taking care of yourself and making the most out of your career because it could be all gone one fight. You always a punch away from it being all over.
Yeah, exactly. And again, most boxers are built different. Some boxers, like say, like a Foreman, they can fight 81 pro fights, fight 20 something years, and they still be lucid as fuck. And then some can be like fucking David Reed, who got damaged in one fight, and if you see him now, it's like night and day. Like he speaks in halts, like. He has to really think about what he says now because he got too damaged, and he only fought like 19 fights. So it's like it varies from different boxer, but rule of thumb is you can't get hit in the head repeatedly and think you're gonna come out like unscathed like that.
Especially if you don't know, especially if you get hit clean in the head, like you got your chin up, you getting rocked.
Anthony said Oscar doesn't really show signs of brain damage, and he fought. I thought he took a lot of punishment. Oscar
counterback that shit, man.
Yeah, I know. Oscar is. I mean, number one, Oscar was a good boxer. Oscar had underrated defense. I wouldn't say he was warring all the time, but he did. He had hard fights. Yeah, sure, but
yeah, he took enough punches to where, like, if he was speaking a certain way, we wouldn't be surprised. I'll say that. So I get what Anthony's saying, though. Yeah, his defense is underrated when you look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is, though. But yeah, it's just. But yeah, with football players, I mean, I get, like, you don't have a lot of football players, like, you don't have a lot of boxers kind of spazzing out, like, because unfortunately the whole thing with football players, they were killing themselves. Like, it was like, either they were like overdosing or taking the gun to themselves or getting into weird accidents and stuff like that. It's, and whereas boxers, it's just mostly like motor issues. Like, you can tell, like, either like how they talk or how they move. Like, it's like, I think that's where most of the damage. I mean, even with Muhammad Ali mentally was sound, but the Parkinson's, it got him. It affected his motor skill because the part of the brain that got that damage was
that Shavers fight is the one that really just sent it to a whole nother level.
I mean,
that fight was fucking good, though.
And truthfully, it might be a science too, because Anthony's like, because most boxers aren't out there, killing themselves like that. Some of them are just they have their motor skills or they slur their speech for the most part. Football players, they speak clear, but they are they do erratic things. It's the there might be a science on like what parts of the brain or whatever get affected by these hits and stuff like that. But football players do, like, they it's full body trauma. Like, they get slammed on the field, they get hit by niggas that are 200 pounds heavier than them. There's a whole bunch of shit.
yeah, football definitely up there. Fuck that.
Yeah. Let's see, Anthony, Pat. What are your thoughts on my last comment about Canelo? Yeah. Okay. This is where I give Canelo a ton of respect. He became a professional at 13 years old. With I mean, he turned 13 years old because he had his they were poor. It happens. Like, I mean, he's not the only boxer that's turned pro that young. Like, Barrera did, I think Morales did, Margarito did, they all did.
Devin Haney did.
Yeah, Devin Haney absolutely did. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wilfred Benitez did. Like, it's he was Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Canelo ain't special. Fuck him.
Yeah.
What the fuck he doing now that's special? Pissing me off? Making me do goddamn songs about his dumb ass?
Oh man, no, but yeah, no, yeah, it's just like I said, it's just Lopez. Like, I just hope that he made enough bread that he can kind of go into a different line of work or just chill out. But yeah, like, this boxing, like, leave that alone. Like, your defense is not gonna magically improve where you're not gonna catch a shot and then
facts.
Yeah, if Angelo Leo, who's not a heavy puncher, can lay you out like that, there are a lot of heavier punchers walking around featherweight or super featherweight that could do the same.
Yeah. And remember, the way you get hit affects your overall health meter. Like, Lopez is a guy who he got hit enough where I don't think he ever had really a full green bar going in this. His shit was like light. His shit was more like yellow. Yeah. And then you giving it a good and Leo's not Leo could crack. He's not no damn small puncher. Like, Leo's maybe like a 7 type of puncher level.
I think it was still green, but it wasn't like full health green. It was like the green where one good shot and it turns to yellow. And then
like it was like the lightest neon green you could find.
One haymaker might send it to red.
Yeah, honestly, I would agree with that, because if you notice, like the fight was so hard that he started with the light green, and then that shit by the third round was like yellow, orange.
Yeah.
But yeah, we not making it trivial. It says it is. It's just the game, yo. Mm-hmm. It's the fucking game, man.
Yeah,
you can't play boxing.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen to anyone. Like Superman, it happened to Superman. It happened to Abu Salam.
I'm a Superman fan, bro. Like, that shit hurt.
Yeah, no, that shit. Like, I mean, Superman. Like, I mean, at the time he wasn't making the right moves, but he didn't deserve what he got. You know, eventually, like, you know, that was horrible.
Come on, he was you gotta throw that in like one right move. God damn, bro. Jeez. Like Pat will let his displeasure go.
Well, no,
every time.
I mean, I dug the Vosdick and the Jack fights, but I'm not gonna. You know, there are other things that his other decisions
that made up for it. Shit, damn, give the man a break. God. It's like that's like when what's that Kali thread where that one dude died, like he got curved by Jasmine Sullivan even in the afterlife type shit. Like I was like, oh my god, like yo, just say R.I.P. bitch. Why you bringing up he tried to holler and you showing messages and like damn ho, like that's Pat. Like yeah, he was a world champion boxer, ring champ, but he did a few career mistakes, but we won't talk about that. But we do want to honor his career today, folks. Like, nigga, chill. do not this nigga do the speech. Like, yeah. You know, we want to honor Shutterworth. You know, GOAT artist. You know,
wait, who the hell is
late
Superman?
motherfucker?
You mean Adonis Stevenson?
Adonis Stevenson, Anthony. Yeah, no, he
who the hell is Superman? I haven't heard that name in boxing before. Oh, bro, dude, man, I'm gonna have to upload the damn Superman. I did a whole bars and boxing. I might have to be the throwback, like the whole Superman. That was one of the early bars and boxing. Prolific did the whole video, like all the highlights.
All the Superman knockouts and shit
over the fucking Superman, because fucking Clanarchy, he flipped the fucking Superman beat, nigga. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, bro. Like, nigga, y'all ain't fucking. Like, no one fucking with Ring Gang. And I'll say this too. Like, fuck this. Like I know niggas like all the damn boxing Twitter awards and all that shit, but real talk, like Ring Gang, we're like the Bone Thugs and Harmony of boxing Twitter. Like, we don't be all up in niggas' faces and spaces and smiling and talking up to everybody. Like, niggas fuck with us, niggas respect us because they know what we do, but we don't be playing the industry part. We don't be trying to kiss ass to niggas and be gossiping and all that. We don't do that shit. So certain shit, you don't see us on lists for when niggas be like, oh, boxing Twitter list, who's this influential? And you see a list of niggas and you're like, hold on, all these niggas just do the same thing. Wait, they interview guys, they go to fights, they got a podcast, they write articles. Wait, hold on. The Ring Gang niggas do all of that too, and they also, they doing cooking shows, live stream training. Oh, they rapping, they doing prediction videos, they got this. God damn, cartoons, like what the yo, why y'all don't mention these niggas? Like, who compete with it? You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I say Bone Thugs.
Because we're not kissing ass.
Yeah, like that's why, because Bone, if you ever heard the rumors back in the day, like Bone Thugs, they used to be high at events, and niggas ain't fuck with them at events and shit. Like, yeah, they weren't the people winning awards and be smiling up in people's faces. They super popular, but they weren't on that industry shit. And that's how Ring Gang is. So, don't expect to see us out there all the time. You just gonna see us when you see us.
Yeah, we're not out here clout chasing. We're not out here looking for people's love and affection and all that shit.
And approval and shit. Like we doing us. Like, we ain't ass kissing niggas to be on lists and to be like, oh, hold on, we ain't trolling motherfuckers. Like, that Ring Gang account, them be some real ass fucking tweets.
Facts.
Not just saying stupid shit. That should be like, all right, hold on, let me see if I can get 15 retweets off of this. Like, nah. So it take longer to grow when you do things the right way, man.
Yo, straight up facts, yo.